10 UK seaside towns that turn into ghost towns in winter. The UK's seaside towns come alive in the summer. Sunshine, seagulls, arcades buzzing with kids, and beach huts packed with holidaymakers. But what happens when the tourists go home? For many of these coastal communities, the off-season paints a very different picture. Boarded-up shops, empty promenades, and eerie silence turn these towns into near-ghost towns. In this video, we explore 10 UK seaside towns that turn into ghost towns in winter, uncovering the seasonal extremes and economic challenges they face when the crowds disappear. These aren't just holiday spots. They're hometowns for people whose lives are shaped by the rhythm of tourism. It's a tale of two towns, one in July and one in January. 10. Ilfracombe, England. Tucked between cliffs and rolling hills, Ilfracombe is breathtakingly beautiful. In summer, it thrives with holidaymakers, seaside strolls, and harbourside dining. But in winter, its remote location becomes a barrier rather than a draw. Cafes, galleries, and souvenir shops hibernate. Some locals say entire streets seem deserted. The town's economy depends heavily on seasonal income, and when tourism stops, so does local spending. Community groups do their best to keep spirits up, but winter in Ilfracombe is tough. Poor transport connections and limited off-season attractions make it feel disconnected. It's a picturesque but poignant example of a UK seaside town affected by winter tourism decline. 9. Whitley Bay, England. Whitley Bay is a gem on the northeast coast, buzzing in summer with day trippers, swimmers, and live events. But when winter hits, that energy retreats indoors. The promenade becomes a place for brisk walks, not busy trade. Cold North Sea winds whip through empty benches and closed ice cream stalls. The Spanish City Dome, recently refurbished, adds elegance to the town, but even that can't halt the seasonal dip. As tourism declines, businesses significantly reduce their hours, and public events become less frequent. Whitley Bay's charm is undeniable. Yet, like many British coastal towns in winter, its economy and energy fade with the daylight. Locals carry on, but the sense of quiet isolation is hard to miss. 8. Blackpool, England. Blackpool is often considered the UK's most famous seaside resort, but even the illuminations can't completely cover the seasonal drop-off. Once the lights go out in November, the town takes on a different character. The arcades remain, but they're sparsely visited. Trams still glide by, but often without passengers. Beneath Blackpool's dazzling exterior lies a harsh reality: widespread deprivation. The town struggles with high levels of unemployment, substance abuse, and poor health, making it one of the most affected areas in the UK. For many residents, the bustling summer season provides crucial earnings to sustain them through the quieter winter months. The contrast between Blackpool's summer spectacle and its winter stillness is dramatic. It's a reminder that even the most iconic tourist towns are not immune to the economic pitfalls of seasonal tourism in Britain. 7. Weston-super-Mare, England. In summer, Weston-super-Mare is festive and lively. Events like the Western Carnival and the Grand Pier attract thousands. But once the autumn leaves fall, so do the footfalls. Cafes along the seafront shorten their hours or close entirely, and beach attractions are mothballed. Locals describe it as two towns in one, a bustling hub in August and a sleepy shell in January. Public transport runs less frequently, and streets that once hosted tourists become echo chambers of winter wind. Community events try to bridge the gap, but the economic lull is hard to ignore. Many seasonal jobs vanish, and the local economy tightens. Weston is one of many towns where the UK winter coastal economy simply can't replicate its summer highs. 6. Great Yarmouth, England. Great Yarmouth is classic British seaside, a mix of candy floss nostalgia, neon arcades, and summer festivals. But after the fun fades, winter in Yarmouth is a stark contrast. The beach remains beautiful but eerily quiet. Arcades that once buzzed are shuttered or sparsely staffed. Seasonal workers vanish, and hotels reduce to skeleton crews. Local businesses thrive during the 6-month surge of summer tourism, but when the season ends, the town quiets dramatically. Many residents experience seasonal layoffs, reduced working hours, and financial strain. While initiatives to build a year-round economy have been attempted, success remains limited. In winter, the lights dim, literally and figuratively, and a palpable silence takes over. Yarmouth is a textbook example of the economic challenges faced by UK tourist towns when they're built on summer magic that disappears with the autumn fog. 5. Margate, England. Margate has experienced a cultural revival in recent years. Thanks to the Turner Contemporary Gallery and trendy boutiques, it's become a magnet for artists and creatives. But come winter, the vibrancy dims. Dreamland closes its gates, and indie shops shorten hours, or vanish until Easter. Despite the rebranding, Margate's economy still leans heavily on tourism. Seasonal closures impact not just income, but also community mood. Behind the colourful murals and artistic facade lies a town grappling with housing issues, unemployment, and off-season poverty. The divide between the trendy newcomers and long-time locals becomes more pronounced in the winter months, when only the most dedicated visitors remain. Margate is both a success story and a cautionary tale about relying too heavily on summer trade to sustain a town year-round. 4. Morham England. Morham boasts one of the most beautiful views in Britain, with sweeping vistas across the bay. Once a thriving rival to Blackpool, it has felt the impact of declining UK seaside tourism. Winter in Morham feels like a town holding its breath. The iconic Midland Hotel stands as a beacon of elegance, yet it contrasts with the quiet reality of empty B&Bs, shuttered shops, and still streets. Despite promises of revitalisation efforts like Eden Project North, winter brings little change. The promenade hums with the wind rather than the laughter of visitors. Locals remain hopeful, but winter is difficult. For many businesses, the season means closure or downsizing. The town's visual charm remains, but the economic bite of off-season is sharp. Morham illustrates the fragile balance between hope and hardship in British seaside towns in seasonal decline. 3. Rhyl, Wales. Rhyl's golden era was fueled by Butlins and family seaside holidays. But that era has faded, and though the town is trying to reinvent itself, winter still exposes deep cracks. The beach is vast and beautiful, but largely empty. The once popular Pavilion Theatre dims its lights until spring, and arcades flicker quietly with minimal visitors. Cafes close early, or not at all, and many of the rental flats and B&Bs lie dark, waiting for warmer months. The demographic shift is also stark. Winter in Rhyl belongs more to retirees than revellers. Rhyl's off-season challenges include high unemployment, mental health pressures, and a sense of stagnation. Despite ongoing regeneration efforts, it's still viewed by many as one of the UK coastal towns struggling in winter. The difference between summer joy and winter gloom here is more than seasonal, it's structural. 2. Clactton-on-Sea, England. Clactton-on-Sea was once Britain's largest holiday camp destination, with crowds swarming its pier and promenade. These days, it still pulls in families and pensioners during summer, but winter is an entirely different story. The sea remains, but the people don't. In the colder months, entire stretches of the town feel deserted. Shops that thrive on tourist money lock their doors, amusements cover up their machines, and beachfront kiosks vanish until spring. Even the famous Clactton Pier, which stays technically open year-round, sees minimal footfall once the clocks go back. The seasonal downturn has a profound economic impact, with job losses particularly affecting younger workers in retail and hospitality. Locals describe a ghost town feeling, as once bustling streets grow quiet by late afternoon. For many, Clacton represents the highs and lows of seasonal tourism in the UK, a summer star left to hibernate through long, grey winters. 1. Skegness, England. Skegness, or Skeg Vegas, as some locals jokingly call it, transforms entirely between seasons. During summer, it's all candy floss, roller coasters, donkey rides and arcades packed to the rafters. But come winter, the rides shut down, lights go dark, and the sounds of fun are replaced by howling wind off the North Sea. Boarded up fish and chip shops and shuttered amusements dominate the landscape from November to March. The seafront, once alive with families and music, becomes a quiet promenade of empty benches and shuttered stalls. Seasonal jobs vanish almost overnight, and many local businesses close entirely until spring returns. For residents, this seasonal switch isn't just inconvenient, it's an economic gut punch. Many rely on the summer trade to sustain themselves year-round, meaning winter brings uncertainty and hardship. Skegness is a striking example of a UK seaside town in winter, where the difference between boom and bust can be measured in degrees Celsius and foot traffic. These UK seaside towns turn into ghost towns in winter, silent, struggling, and seasonally abandoned. Behind the summer smiles lie real communities impacted by economic hardship. Sustainable, year-round investment is needed, because once the tourists leave, what's left behind isn't just quiet, it's a call for attention. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.